Well, the big story that's making all the news today is the fallout of the terrible violence that's taken place in Muzzafarnagar. What is troubling, of course, is that this is part of a pattern over the last 18 months, ever since the Akhilesh Yadav government has taken over in UP. There have been several small and big riots that have taken place in Uttar Pradesh. At least 4 major communal clashes in Bareilly, Ghaziabad, Faizabad and now in Muzzafarnagar that have led to the loss of lives. Small incidents also that have resulted in flare-ups. And the worry is, where is the state administration? It's clear that no riot in this country can take place without the state, if the state administration did not want it. So either the Akhilesh government has been incompetent or complicit. And clearly, with elections coming up in a few months' time, the worry is that these kind of communal clashes could result in a polarization, and politicians will try and take maximum mileage out of the situation. Take Muzzafarnagar itself. There is absolutely no reason why the situation could not have been brought under control much earlier. There was an incident that took place on the 27th of August. It resulted in 3 people dying. That was when the law and order machinery needed to step in, needed to ensure that all groups from all communities, all the antisocial elements were put behind bars and to take tough action. Instead, it's taken 12 days. A Mahapanchayat was allowed to be held in defiance of prohibitory orders. The incidents were allowed to continue to fester, and clearly the government has failed. It's no good for the Akhilesh government to be transferring police officers and DMs today. Action should have been taken much earlier. In fact, on the 27th itself, instead of giving the police the confidence of going ahead and arresting the rioters and those responsible for the crime, the Akhilesh government went ahead and transferred the officials then itself. What should have happened really is that the state administration should have received clear instructions that the government had a zero tolerance policy to anyone who takes law into their own hands. Had that happened, had the prohibitory orders been respected on the 7th of September, had all those responsible for both the instances of the 27th of August and the subsequent instances had strong action taken against them, had a fake video which was being circulated from the 31st of August been nipped in the bud and those responsible for circulating that video been arrested, maybe innocent lives would have been lost. Would not have been lost. I mean, the tragedy is that in every such riot situation, it's always the innocents who lose their lives, those who get caught in the crossfire. Take the instance of our own correspondent, Rajesh Verma of IBN18 along with a photographer who had been hired by the police, who were caught either in the crossfire or, in the case of the photographer, beaten to death. I mean, it's tragic that these instances happen time and again, and we just don't learn our lesson. And the fear is that politicians and politics has played over dead bodies. As I said, elections are not too far away, and Uttar Pradesh is the critical political state, and it's become a tinderbox because different politicians from different political parties are seeking to play politics over dead bodies. And I just hope and pray that the lessons of Muzzafarnagar are learned by all sides, that every side learns the lessons of it and just steps back. What this country at the moment needs is a bit of peace. The last thing we need is a communal flare-up again. Relations between the two communities, Hindus and Muslims, particularly in Western UP, have been simmering for some time. What we need is people now to act responsibly and bridge the communities together rather than spark off a divide that is leading to some kind of a ghettoization on the ground in Muzzafarnagar and other parts of Western UP. At the end, let me just say our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the deceased. Their loss is irreparable, and I think for them, for all of them, the least we can do is try and ensure that Muzzafarnagar is not repeated again. This is Rajdeep Sardesai at the moment in our newsroom.